Okay, so in this video, I'll be showing how to debug Juris application. So we have here a simple counter app that we use on our previous demo. Okay, so we have here the computed value with counter plus the get state 0, which is coming from this reactive attribute or function attributes that depends on function A. And we have here the increment. Okay, all right, so currently okay, so how to debug this? So in your VS Code, okay, so if you don't have the if you haven't have the live preview, yeah, you need to install this so that you can benefit from the auto refresh or auto page refresh or live preview of the page or the application that you're building with Juris. So with this, right, so if I change this, and let's say maybe I'm not disconnected. Okay, so if I change, automatically my page reloads or refresh because of this plugin. Okay, so let's close again to see how I open this one. Okay, so this is our index HTML with Juris application within. We'll just right click and show preview. And right away, we have this counter app, which when we edit, it automatically refresh. Okay, so the topic on this video is focused on debugging. All right, so unlike any other mainstream framework like React, Vue, and what else, Angular, they have their own dedicated dev tool. So they need those dev tool because they are compiling or transpiling your code into their equivalent rendering functions. Yeah. All right. So here we can open the DevTool pane. Okay. So it's like your Chrome DevTool, and here you can have your elements. All right. So and our application. Where is our application? This is called network code. Let's refresh first. Refresh, and we have here our index. And we can right click and go to source panel so that we can have our index HTML that we have our JavaScript code for Juris. So here from your source, you can actually put a breakpoint. Okay. So this is the breakpoint, and when you increment, you can actually stop the execution or break the execution right into your breakpoint. So if you're using function, right? So this function is defined here. Okay. So you can set another breakpoint here to follow. Yeah, and then here to follow again. All right, and then so from here to see the color is actually you can go back from here, right? Okay, so this is your code. So right, so if you click this one, then you go back, and then yeah, you just need to follow, and then in Windows you have the Juris instance if you want. So where is that? Oh, I didn't inject actually the Juris, so later on I'll go back to that one. And all right, so I click right. So before I go to this execution path, I click the increment. So click increment was actually this. So basically, to get familiarized with Juris execution path from event to updating context or updating the let's say for example the text node. So you can actually follow this one. All right. So yeah, so there are only few functions that I mean, we can call this as abstractions layer. So when you when you call on click, right, you have two layers of set click. I mean, set state. So this is from Juris context, and then this one is in the state management. You can actually follow along this one. Yeah. So this is in your state manager, and then yeah, these are all the abstraction which for developer they doesn't really need to bother about. But if you need to be advanced in Juris, then you need to understand this in order for you to really understand the whole architecture or philosophy or the implementation behind. Okay. All right. So let's go back here. So when we click right, we will set the state and then we call the function attribute. So which is the text. This is the function because we define it as a function. And then here we call the function A and then we call the function B, which has the count. I mean, which access the get state count. Okay. So let's just continue. So currently we have this 0 value. And then if we go next, then we have the 1 value. All right. Another one is if let's say you really want to get the actual value to see the before the value gets updated into text is what you can do is you can open a parenthesis curly bracket and close it, right? Okay, and maybe you can const computed equals and then you return. Okay, so one thing you notice here is this is much different already compared with okay so let's remove this break so that every time we change it won't really what do you call this, it won't really stop from updating or rendering the page. Okay, so what we have here, we created another computed variable which is based on the computed template. And then here we can already debug before the text attribute get updated. Okay, let's try again. No, this is we use the Visual Studio Code line. It's supposed to be we'll be adding breakpoint here. So let's try again. Okay, so we're able to catch the execution of before the text attribute gets set. Okay, so the value here is counter 2 already. So this is how debugging, this is how simple the debugging is in Juris. You don't really need to, you don't really need additional debugging tool. Yeah, and besides, since I'm the only developer working on this, it will be really hard for me to maintain all those applications or solutions that may evolve over time as I go along implementing my philosophy on this Juris solution or project. Right, so I remove and just continue. Okay, so here in the, so aside from text or text attribute or reactive attributes, we can also add breakpoint as well here. Okay, so when you click increment, right, then you can already catch the execution. And then here same, which your click gets the value from function A, which calls function B and gets the value from count, which eventually go back to the on click and calculate or add or increment one level. Right? So okay, so we remove first, and then since this is already a function with body, right? So const current equals get state. Okay. So Okay, and then here we can add our breakpoint. So when I click, I saw the current 0, and then I continue, and then I click again, the current is 1 before it gets updated to 2. Sorry, it should be done. See, so that's how. Okay. Right, so another one is, let me inject Juris into Windows. So this is not a good practice, injecting the Juris into Windows, but in your development, Juris instance equals Juris. Okay. All right, so what we have here, so we added Juris instance into Windows. So basically we already have access to Juris instance. And then when we go to console, right, and then we clear, allow pasting, okay. Okay, so Juris, it's not defined. Hold on, let me refresh. Maybe I'm not wrong. Juris instance. Okay. All right. So this is not doable in VS Code live view. So we switch to our browser. Okay. So I will just copy this and move to browser to see what's really happening. So this is my counter up. So it's the same URL, and then let me close, or maybe I'll just leave it alone. Leave it there open, and then I will just close this. Okay, and then F12. Let's see what we have here. Error not found. So Pabicon. Let's clear this one, and then we reload. Okay. As you can see here, you're seeing a warning. It's because we injected the Juris instance in global. So we added this, or I added this warning for developer to be reminded that Juris or injecting Juris in global is not a good idea, or they need to remove that. Okay, so going back, what I want to show you is Juris. Yeah, so we have access to Juris instance, and what I want to show you is from Juris instance, you can access the state manager. And then in state manager, you have the states. Okay. State manager, state. Hold on. Hold on. State manager. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay. So currently, right, I did not, from my previous video, I removed the state definition during initialization. So that's why when you get the state, there's nothing. Okay. Let's increment 1. And then let's clear again. And then we check again the state. And then there you go. We have the 1. Okay. And, okay. So unlike any other framework, right? Like Vue, I guess they have this facilities or mechanism where developer can actually change the value of the state, and the reactivity happens in the GUI. So since Juris state is not reactive, there will be, you can update the state, but there will be no reactivity that will be happening. Okay. So let's say 2. Yeah, nothing happened. So, and then when you query, the value is 2, but your value here is not. Okay, remains 1. But when you increment, it will already start to 3. Okay. So with knowing that, you should not be updating the state directly via state manager, but use the state manager's set state, then count, maybe reset to 5 or set to 5, then you can have the 5 value already. Okay? Hope you learn it. You learn how the debugging and getting the state from Windows console without needing or grabbing special dev tool for Juris, which we currently don't have, and eventually we really don't need. Okay, I hope you learn a lot in this video, and if this is your first time on this channel, please subscribe and uh, turn on that notification so that whenever I add new video in future, you'll get notified. Okay, so right now this is your only resource for your Juris knowledge. So yeah, hope you learn a lot today. All right, so by the way, the code I have is I always upload in CodePen. So I will be posting as well the example code at the end. I mean, in when I upload this video in YouTube as well. All right. So see you around. Bye.